In the Avatar universe, there is more to bending than just the 4 basic elements. We're talking about techniques so rare they were wiped from history or locked away in ancient scrolls. From biological hacks to energy manipulation, here are 19 forbidden bending abilities that prove the elements go much deeper than you think. 1. Bloodbending. Bloodbending is the ultimate violation of the human body, allowing a waterbender to take complete control of another person's movements. This dark art originated in the Fire Nation's high security prisons, where a southern tribe bender named Hama spent years observing how the moon affected the fluids in her own body. It made its chilling debut in the original series episode The Puppet Master, where Hama revealed her secret to Katara. While Hama, Katara, and later Yakon's family were all capable of this, the absolute best user we have ever seen is Amon. He was so advanced that he didn't even need a full moon to operate, and he used his mastery to physically grip a person's internal chi paths to permanently strip away their bending, a feat even the Avatar couldn't resist. 2. Icebending. While almost every waterbender can freeze a puddle, the forbidden application of icebending involves manipulating the temperature of internal fluids. This lethal variation was brought to light in the novel The Shadow of Kyoshi, used as a desperate measure when traditional bending failed. The greatest feat ever recorded was by Avatar Kyoshi during her final battle with the false Avatar Yoon. She tricked him into believing she was offering a final hug of comfort, but as soon as her hand touched his chest, she instantly froze the water inside his heart and lungs, ending his life in seconds. While many can make ice, Kyoshi is the undisputed master of this internal refrigeration, showing that you can end a fight without ever making an icicle if you can just suck the heat out of a person's vital organs. 3. Water healing. Water healing is the restorative side of the element, using water as a conduit for positive chi to repair physical damage. This technique was a staple of the Northern Water Tribe for centuries, though it only debuted in the original series episode The Deserter, when Katara accidentally healed her own burns. Since then, we've seen dozens of healers, but Katara remains the best user due to her raw talent and experience on the front lines. Her strongest feat remains bringing Aang back from the dead after he was struck by Azula's lightning. It essentially functions as turbo cell repair, guiding healing energy into a wound to make the body regenerate in seconds rather than weeks. 4. Spiritbending. Spiritbending is a specialized substyle of the water tribes used to balance or destroy spiritual entities. It was first revealed by Unalaq in the Legend of Korra episode The Southern Lights, and was eventually passed down to Korra and Jinora. While Unalaq was the pioneer, Korra is arguably the best user, having once purified a massive skyscraper-sized dark spirit to save all of Republic City. This technique is all about energy harmonizing. Since spirits are made of raw energy, the bender swirls water around them to clean their negative vibrations until they return to a state of peaceful golden light. If you really push this, you could imagine a bender spirit tuning an entire city, creating a zone where it's literally impossible to feel anger or hatred because the water in the air is constantly vibrating with positive spiritual energy. 5. Metalbending. Metalbending involves manipulating the unrefined earth particles trapped within processed metals. It was famously invented by Toph Beifong in the episode The Guru, when she was trapped in a reinforced metal cage. While Toph founded the technique and it has since spread to thousands of officers in Republic City and the Metal Clan, Toph remains the gold standard for mastery. Her strongest feat involved bending a meteorite into a functional suit of armor, while her students later dismantled a giant skyscraper-sized mech. It works through dirt tracking, where the bender finds the tiny microscopic bits of rock inside the iron and uses them as handles to pull the whole metal sheet along. 6. Seismic Sense. Seismic Sense is a high-level earthbending skill that allows a bender to perceive their surroundings through vibrations. It was taught to Toph by the original masters, the Badger Moles, and debuted in the episode The Blind Bandit. Only a handful of people like Toph, Aang, and Lin Beifong have mastered it, but Toph is easily the best, as she uses it to see better than people with actual sight. Her greatest feat was sensing entire underground tunnels and cities across the Earth Kingdom just through her feet. It's essentially Earth sonar, where you send a pulse into the ground that bounces back to you, giving your brain a perfect 3D map of the environment. 7. Lavabending. Lavabending is an extremely rare ability that allows an earthbender to change the phase of rock from solid to liquid. It made its first major debut in The Legend of Korra by the Red Lotus member Ghazan, but it quickly became Bolin's signature move. While Ghazan was a master, Bolin is often considered the most impressive for his quick learning and defensive usage, such as stopping a massive wave of lava with his bare hands to save his friends. This is Bolin's ultimate trump card. It works through molecular friction, where the bender vibrates the molecules in solid rocks so fast that the heat melts the stone into a molten soup. 8. Sandbending. Sandbending is a specialized earthbending style that focuses on granular, loose material. It was first revealed in the episode The Library by the tribes of the Siwang Desert. While the desert tribes are the most practiced, Toph eventually mastered it to the point of creating a miniature, perfectly detailed sand sculpture of Ba Sing Se. The strongest feat remains the tribes creating massive sand vortexes to capture sky bisons. It requires granular control, treating millions of tiny pebbles as a fluid, which feels more like waterbending than traditional earthbending. 9. Glassbending. Glassbending is the rare art of manipulating silicate-based materials. It debuted in the novel The Rise of Kyoshi when the young Avatar was caught in an assassination attempt. Kyoshi is the only known user to successfully perform this at a high level. Her best feat involved identifying microscopic earth particles inside jagged glass shards to pull them out of her own body after an explosion. Since glass is just melted and processed sand, it is super refined earth that requires an insane level of focus to find the elemental identity hidden within the clear material. 10. Smokebending. Smokebending is a firebending subskill that focuses on the byproduct of combustion. It was revealed in the Smoke and Shadow graphic novels, primarily used by the Kamurikage spirits and eventually mastered by Azula. Azula is the best user we've seen, using it to create spirit-like illusions and vanish into thin air to haunt her family. It's shadow manipulation, where you take the soot and heat from a fire and compress it into thick, dark clouds to hide your movements or choke your enemies. 11. Immortal Earthbending. This is a legendary and forbidden earthbending secret used to halt the aging process. It was revealed in the novel The Rise of Kyoshi, taught by the ancient assassin Lao Ge. Only Lao Ge and Kyoshi are known to have used it, with Lao Ge living for over 200 years without aging a single day. 12. Flight. True flight is the ability to move through the air without any physical support. It was first revealed by Zaheer in the Legend of Korra episode Enter the Void, though it originated with the ancient guru Lagima. Only these two have ever achieved it in history, with Zaheer's battle against a berserk Korra being the strongest featuring. It works on the principle of zero gravity, where you let go of every earthly attachment and person you love until you become empty and the world simply stops pulling you down. 13. Soundbending. Soundbending is the manipulation of air vibrations to create or amplify noise. This terrifying skill was highlighted in the Yang Chen novels, used by the Avatar to dominate a room without a fight. Avatar Yang Chen is the only master of this we've seen, and her strongest feat was letting out a sonic scream that ruptured the eardrums of every enemy in a building instantly. 14. Suffocation. Suffocation is a forbidden airbending technique used to remove the air from a specific space. It made its dark debut in The Legend of Korra when Zaheer cornered the Earth Queen. While Yang Chen also knew the technique, Zaheer's execution on the Queen remains the most infamous feat. It is known as the vacuum seal, where you move all the air away from a person's head. No air means no breathing, and the target passes out and dies in a matter of seconds. 15. Spiritual projection. This technique allows an airbender to separate their spirit from their physical body. It was first used by Jinora in the episode A Light in the Dark. Jinora is the only user who has mastered this completely, and her strongest feat was sending her spirit across the ocean to guide Korra during the final battle against Vaatu. It's essentially soul Wi-Fi, where you let your mind leave your body as a ghost to fly through walls and spy on things happening miles away. 16. Lightning generation. Often called the cold-blooded fire, lightning generation involves creating a pure electrical discharge. It debuted in the episode The Avatar State through Princess Azula. While it was once a royal secret, it eventually became common enough for factory workers to use in Republic City. However, Azula remains the best user for her sheer power and precision, with her strongest feat being the strike that actually killed Aang in the Crystal Catacombs. It works by separating positive and negative energy in your soul. When they snap back together, they create the spark that you shoot from your fingers. 17. Dragonfire. Dragonfire is the purest form of of firebending, fueled by life rather than rage. It was first seen in the episode The Firebending Masters when Aang and Zuko visited the Sun Warriors. Only the dragons Ran and Shaw, along with Aang and Zuko, are known users. The strongest feat was the dragons breathing a literal rainbow of fire to teach the true meaning of the element. It is pure heat, fueled by the sun and the breath, making it so hot and pure that it glows with every color of the rainbow. 18. Combustionbending. Combustionbending is the ability to channel heat into a localized explosive beam. It debuted with the assassin Combustion Man in the episode The Headband, and was later used by Pali. While Pali could curve her shots, Combustion Man's raw power makes him a contender for the best user, especially his feat of destroying entire cliffs with a single look. It's the Sniper Beam, where you squeeze a massive amount of fire into a tiny point on your forehead and shoot it out as a beam that explodes like a missile when it hits something. 19. Energybending. Energybending is the rarest skill in existence, allowing the user to manipulate the life force of others. It was first revealed in the original series finale by an ancient lion turtle who passed the knowledge to Aang. Aang and Korra are the only human users, with Aang's feat of permanently deleting the Fire Lord's bending being the greatest display of power. It's software deletion, where you don't bend the elements. You bend the spirit inside a person to turn their bending switch to the off position forever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 19 forbidden techniques, subscribe for more Avatar content. And if you like Chainsaw Man, click this video right here where we explain all 6 of Denji's forms from weakest to strongest explained. See you in the next one!